Hello, everyone. This is New Vegas Ranger. Once again, we're back with another Talking Thursday. Today, I'm going to talk about something that is actually pretty, going to be a big topic today, because it is something that pertains kind of to my channel a little bit. In case it wasn't obvious by the name I chose on my channel, I am a big fan of Fallout. It's one of my favorite games. Uh, it was really funny actually how I got into it. I actually got into it, and I was scared of it actually when I first played it because I'd not played like any horror games or anything like that. And I was told about the vaults in Fallout more than I was about like anything else in the world. So I actually got really scared of Fallout 3 and its world, but once I actually stepped inside and played it, it was really fun to play and I really enjoyed it. And of course, after Fallout 3 came out, I was hooked to that. And then I heard of New Vegas coming out. And see, I was so stoked for that game. And when it got released, yeah, it didn't get as many as great reviews as Fallout 3 did, but it was still a pretty good game. I still liked it a lot. And as you guys can tell in the title of in the channel, I did choose the New Vegas Ranger, and that's kind of based off the NCR Ranger from New Vegas. But the question that I want to say gets asked a lot with this name is, do I choose Fallout 3? Sorry, I didn't realize which way to hold this. Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas? Because you have to choose one. Well, I mean, you don't have to choose, but you you need to decide which one you like more. And this is a tough question because it really is something that kind of splits the fan group. Either they really like New Vegas or they really like Fallout 3. I have really not met anyone that is like, I like both a lot. Although I do. I will say that. But most of the time they'll say, oh, I like both of them, but I like this more. So, and that's what I've heard. Like, I have a friend who's more Fallout 3 based. He says I liked both, but Fallout 3 was more my thing. And for me, I'm gonna have to choose New Vegas. And this is and this is kind of, and this is not like a factual thing. This is entirely based on my opinion of the game. This is not something where I'm going to be spouting out like facts or like problems or stuff like that that made me go, oh, I don't like 3 as much as New Vegas. So, I do want to talk about what made me decide on New Vegas. And the simplest answer was the design. And this comes down to a lot of things. A little miniature things added up, which I will talk about. But one of the major things that made me like New Vegas over 3 was the setting. I I am not a very good. I don't like games that have you in very claustrophobic corners in like little tight spaces fighting things. I just don't like those type of games because they make me edgy because I know there's not it's Fallout 3 is not horror, but it does give a kind of a tone of horror to it. When you're going through like the DC Metro and you're going around every corner like, oh god, is there gonna ghoul gonna pop out at me? Um, that does it kind of puts you on edge, and I don't like that. I don't like playing in like edgy. I want to play a game and be immersed. I don't want to be like sitting there like jittering because I'm so scared of what's gonna pop out at me. It's the reason why I don't play jump scare games on this channel because I will be one of those guys that every time something pops out, I'll be like, "Oh God!" I'll be one of those guys. So I don't like playing those games. It's uh, as I put it, I have PewDiePie syndrome. Um, so off the bat, New Vegas made me like it a lot better because New Vegas was so much open space. With the Mojave Wasteland, you had so much space just to walk and see everything. And that was just something that was really cool about it. Uh, and there were spots that were tight and cramped, but it was spaced out. You didn't have it constantly pushing on you, so it didn't bother me as much as Fallout 3. And another big thing with the Mojave Wasteland was, you could see for miles. You could see for all around you, what was around you. And you get to take in everything. You get to take in the scope of New Vegas. You get to take in the scope of the Mojave. I never got that from Fallout 3 because Fallout 3 was very because it's DC. It's you know, it's very cramped. It's very everything's very pushed together. It's hard to see everything. You know, if I was just randomly walking around and trying to find my like I remember the mission to go to the Washington Monument. I didn't even realize where the natural like science museum, whatever that thing was that you need to go into to get the telescope. I didn't even realize where that was because I was lost. I didn't know where I was going even if I was following the tracker because everything was so cluttered. Every building looked alike. I kept going to one building after another trying to find this place. And eventually I did find it and I got that quest done, but it did start to bother me with how everything was so close. And and I know what people are, and what some people are going to say, like, that comes with the territory. It's about DC. I'm not saying that's a thing, like, I'm not saying that's a fault of the game. I'm saying from my opinion, it's not something I really enjoy. That's not saying that the game's terrible because of that reason, or it's not a fun game for people. No, some people really like having that. As again, my friend who really likes Fallout 3, he loves those cluttered spaces. He loves having that edge. So it's more of that's a preference on my part. So that was one of the major things that really made me like New Vegas. The fact that you could just see everything. You could see stuff coming up in the distance. You didn't have that in Fallout 3, really. I mean, yeah, after you got out of like the Washington Monument area, you did have some space where you could like see stuff, but it was nothing the scope of New Vegas did. I mean, you can like I remember this. I remember going up to Yangtze Memorial, right on top of Salone, and I remember looking out there and seeing New Vegas off in the distance, and that's when it hit me in the game. I realized, oh my god, that like I'm getting goosebumps remembering it because it just was such a big thing. I never had that. Never had that. Well, okay, I never actually did have one of those feelings. I did have a little bit of a feeling like that, and that was when I was playing with when you go to Rivet City. I did have a little bit of that, but I didn't have enough to really like get my heart beating. Like I didn't like have that like butterfly in your chest feeling. But when I hit Yangtze Memorial and saw New Vegas, it hit me. It hit me just how big this was, just how big New Vegas was compared to everything else in the Mojave. And then you get to and you get to Freeside, and Freeside's not even considered a part of New Vegas. You see the outline, and then you realize you're just barely getting into it, and that's just it's such a great. It was a feeling that I really got, and it stuck with me more than. Okay, I'm gonna read it. It was just that feeling stuck with me more than Fallout 3 did. And that's not to say Fallout 3 didn't have memorable moments. That what is it? Not Tenpenny Towers. It's that place where you go back to like when you go into the. It's that one vault where you have to go in to find your dad. I can't remember the name of the place. Is it like Tandleberry Lane or something like that? Anyway, so yeah, I remember that. And yeah, people will say, well, there's more memorable moments in Fallout 3. I'm like, well, that's good, but if you only remember those moments, really, it's. I remember I remember a lot about New Vegas. I don't remember as much about Fallout 3. And like I can probably name some of the like for instance, this is probably one of the worst. This is probably gonna make people go like immediately boo, and because it's something I really need to do, and I've never done it, and I should have done it because it's something it's one of those memorable things in the Fallout 3 world. And the thing is that I never went to the Dunwich building. I need to go to the Dunwich building because I've never been there, and I've heard so much about the Dunwich building. And yeah, maybe that left more of an imprint, but for me, Vault 22 will always be the scariest thing in the Fallout universe. More than the Deathclaw Promontory, more than the Deathclaw Sanctuary, more than Deadwind's Cavern, Vault 22 will be the scariest thing because of its backstory. And so there's just a lot more memorable things in New Vegas, in my honest opinion. I remember. Okay, I don't remember the names, but I remember the places. All right, so shut up. Um, I remember the vault with the sacrificial death in it. That one was insane. I remember Jones. Is it Jonestown? I think the place where I think Jonestown's the one with the super mutants in it. I remember that place and going there, and I was like, this is a cool thing, especially since it went back to Fallout 2. That's another thing that kind of bothered me about Fallout 3. They don't really make a lot of references to the other Fallout. I mean, yeah, I know it took out way out in California and stuff like that. It would have been harder for them to make stuff, but I don't know. That actually leads to a second thing. There seems to be I felt more of a need to go back and play Fallout 1 and 2 playing New Vegas than I did 3 because those events in 1 and 2 affected New Vegas more than they did 3. So I kind of felt this feeling I need to go back and play. And that's another reason why I kind of liked it is because it brought back it it was able to mix the old ones with the new ones. Fallout 3 was kind of just it's kind of by itself. It really doesn't have a lot to do with what went on in the I mean, yeah, you have the Enclave and the Brotherhood of Steel, the classic fighting, but it really doesn't have as much to do with the other stuff. So, yeah, that's one of the reasons that's another reason why I really like New Vegas because it was able to draw back other things. It was able to really mix stuff together. My cat's meowing. Uh, and okay, let me say what was the other one I was going to talk about? Oh yeah, the third major one was that there was more choice in New Vegas than 3. I like that a lot more because you are basically forced to be on the Brotherhood of Steel side in Fallout 3. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. Like, I mean, you have to be because what happened. But I really that's something that has always kind of bothered me about not New Vegas, Fallout 3. Something that's always bothered me is that it didn't give you a choice. Yeah, it gave you a ton of choices whether you could do stuff with the Brotherhood of Steel, like, oh, maybe you don't want to save, maybe you want to put like some type of the thing that kills the super mutants into the water. Okay, you know what? That's not a big deal. That's minor changes. Something that will define your character. So that wasn't so like if Fallout 3 had you could go either to the Brotherhood of Steel or the Enclave side. If you could do that, that would have been so much more. It would have meant so much more to this story, to your character. It would give you more of a defining character. Because when you look at it, the Enclave, yeah, they do bad things, but the Brotherhood of Steel isn't exactly a very good people either. Like, yeah, they're a little bit better, but the Enclave was kind of corrupted by the lead, the commander. If that commander hadn't been there, like for instance, if President Eden put you in as the commander, maybe you could do the job better. So that's just kind of the question I'm asking. How could this game be different if you would give it more of a choice? And in Fallout New Vegas, it does. You can be a you can be an NCR person. You can be Caesar's Legion. You can be a Mr. House. You can be your own person and decide what factions you want on your side. There's so much choice in New Vegas. You can go whatever way you desire in New Vegas. You can't really do that in Fallout 3. So yeah, there's my big thing. Those are the three major reasons why I really like New Vegas more. I like the setting more. I like the fact that it connects to the older games, and I like the choices in it. And you don't. And speaking on choices, one last little thing about choices: you don't have to do everything. With Brotherhood of Steel, you had to do everything the Brotherhood of Steel told you to do. There's very little optional missions from the Brotherhood of Steel. It's either you do this or you're not with us. No, you have the option to do this mission in like there's one for where you go to the Ghoul Vault and what is it called, like Hard Luck Blues or something like that. The NCR mission, it's like, I don't know. Anyway, you have the option not to do that because you don't want to do it. And the game, and you can still beat the game. You're not forced into doing these missions. So, when you're, so that's another reason why I like New Vegas more. There's my big opinion on why I like New Vegas more than I do. And so you can take that as a reason why you make your own decisions. This is not I'm not telling you this thing just to go, oh, you have to play New Vegas. You have to do it. That's Fallout 3 is not worth it. No, I'm not saying that. I put this out here for you to make your own decision. All I am doing is bringing up topics. That's all I'm wanting to do here. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to cause a war here in the comments. All I want to do is just bring up some topics that I think would be good if both sides were heard of it. So you need to go out and make your own decisions. So with that being said, that's it for this video. We're going to start, and we're going to do the channel update next. And I'm probably going to fix this lighting. It's kind of dark. All right, I got my head on. That means it's time for the channel update. This one's going to be really short because there's not a lot that's really happened in the channel. It has occurred to me after a little bit, I may want to start doing a series on the vaults in the Fallout world, like a little topic talking about the vault's origins and what happens in them. Little tiny videos, but I don't know if I'm gonna try to get my projects that I want to do out of the way first before I start on these. But yeah, I think that's something I really want to do. I don't know if that's ever really going to come to fruition. But anyway, the second biggest thing is that hopefully when New Vegas Script Extender gets updated, I'm gonna play a story mod for you guys. This is not gonna be a Wacky Adventures of San Diego. This is gonna be a completely new thing based on a mod called Project Brazil that I've been meaning to want to play for a while now, but I wanted to get kind of my Wacky Adventures going before I went to Project Brazil. So hopefully when New Vegas Script Extender gets updated, we'll be able to do that. Third thing, I'm getting a new laptop. I'm getting a new gaming laptop. It's just state of the line. It's gonna have like 860 GTX for NVIDIA graphics cards in it. A new processor. It's gonna be great. I'm going to go ahead and say that this Talking Thursday may not be put out on Thursday again, depending on how long it takes me to get this done. Sorry, the spikes on my hair is hitting the top of the hat, and it's making it feel weird. Anyway, so that's another thing that's kind of going on. Getting this new laptop, and with that new laptop, I hope to start a Witcher 2 series soon, because I haven't been able to play Witcher really well because it's just kind of not looked good on my old computer. So when that gets put out, hopefully I'll be able to start putting out a Witcher 2 series. And that's really it for today. There's not a lot to talk about. So thanks for watching, and this is the New Vegas Ranger, signing off.
Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you liked what you saw, you can go ahead and check out my channel and subscribe. Keep updates about what videos I put out. You can also check out my Twitter, where I normally put up updates about the channel as well. Finally, check out my Twitch channel, where I normally host daily live streams. Thanks for watching.